Welcome back to Big Rooster's Corner. I'm your host, Big Rooster. I have a channel disclosure notice I'd like to read before our content begins. Disclaimer notice. This is an F-word friendly channel, so if the F-word slips out or the truth offends you, don't watch our content. If you like this channel, help us out then. Subscribe and give it a thumbs up. Subscriptions are free and nothing to download. I will pause here for 5 seconds before our content begins. It's showtime, people. Cock-a-doodle fucking do. Wake up and smell the coffee. Welcome to Big Rooster's Corner, where we have information, rants, raves, and just common sense thinking. This is episode 13. Before we get started, my shout outs go to the veterans and the active military, the 505, all frontline workers during this pandemic. I also want to give a shout out to my viewers and subscribers, hoping you good health during these times. Okay, episode 13. This is stimulus commentary. The stimulus checks were a large debacle by the U.S. government. First, they delayed passing the bill in hopes the virus would pass. Once the virus didn't pass, then they made getting the check very hard for the average person to navigate. It took me 10 months to get my check, and I'm a disabled veteran and cannot work physically any longer. The SSI department is not helping either. This debacle is now going on into its 4th year of filing an appeals. What a bunch of government crap. So, we all know how slow the government is. Since they passed the first bill, these degenerates have been fighting and arguing over a few dollars. The powers that be are screwing around instead of helping the American people. These mutants have no idea on how the everyday public lives. They make enough money, they don't have to worry about the pandemic. They think American people are chess pieces, not humans. Now, how about the head mutant Trump? This guy has no morals or self-respect for himself or our country. He stalled the bill and threatened the country if I didn't get reelected, I won't pass the bill. But if I get reelected, I'll pass the bill on the next day. Well, he lost, and so did the American people who are struggling, and Congress is still fighting. This is just a ploy to postpone long enough. The vaccine will be distributed. Once the first person gets stuck in the arm, the American people are going to get stuck in the ass. When this stimulus check was introduced, I had a conversation with a family member and predicted that the next stim check would be bounced around until a vaccine was developed. Now they are dragging the last mile. They cannot to give the people the money. At this time of year, let's face it, there is not enough time to get anything passed this year. They are now delivering the first dose of the vaccine before the end of the year. Now, with putting off the stimulus vote until after the first of the year, the vaccine will start to be delivered, and now you guessed it, we won't need a stimulus package. This is the plan. It's so obvious Stevie Wonder can see it. Now let's break down the $1,200 stimulus check they approved in March of 2019. They screwed around getting the payment out with more hoops than a circus. It's now December, and I just got mine. What about the people that still haven't gotten it? Listen, the next check, if there is one, looks realistically like the same government crap. Postpone, postpone, postpone. Let's do some 3rd grade math for a second. Hell, this might be 1st grade math now. $1,200 check. Took about 10 months to get. The proposal isn't even close to a deal in Congress. They're playing games and having tantrums over the money that we paid in. This money doesn't even belong to these mutants. Now, if and only if we get another one by, let's say, April to May of 2021, That means that you are looking at 12 to 14 months between checks during a pandemic. Based on the $1,200 for a year is $25 a week. Now, my viewers, this is not acceptable. Just livable at best, because they're not doing anything any better and won't. Ask yourself this: could they live on $25 a week? I think not. This mutant Trump, wow, this clown can't even accept defeat. If he thinks this is helping him come back in 4 years, he is more an idiot than I thought. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this mutant will probably need to be carried out on January 20th, kicking and screaming, and maybe even have to be tranquilized for that. Here's an idea: shoot him with a tranquilizer gun, and then toss his arrogant ass out on Pennsylvania Avenue. Next mutant that needs to be penciled in for a visit of the angel of death: McConnell. He's a freaking joke. Kentucky voted his dumb ass in. The whole country is suffering because this inbred backwoodsman from Kentucky is a degenerate congressperson who is greedy and self-absorbed. He won't pass a bill for the people because if he does, he might not get a pay raise. I bet the people in Kentucky are livid. They let this liar bamboozle them into re-electing him, and now he flipped his rhetoric back to the government business as usual. Did this guy have to divorce his sister to marry his own cousin or something? It just seems like this guy has inbred thinking, or he has just been born stupid. A word to my viewers: it is a hard thing to fix. Stupid. It can't be done. Once you're stupid, you're just stupid. No fixing that. Bet you won't do that again, dumbasses. If you do, then all you need is a good head bashing to knock some sense into that cranium. This decision screws Kentucky and the American people. Great job. Next mutant: Pelosi. This old bag needs to bail out. She doesn't do anything of importance except stand in the way of passing bills through the gauntlet of the government. With the lawmakers running out of time, the people still wait. Now, this 600 is a joke. You mean to tell me that there's a vaccine, which the general public can't get until next summer, is supposed to pass a bill on $600 for the next 6 to 8 months? Math time again. Let's do 4th grade math. First check $1,200, and only if we do get $600, now that's $1,800 for about 18 months. We're still at $25 a week, people. No improvement. Do these mutants understand that $25 per week is going to pay bills? I don't think so. These people tip more than that at a restaurant per meal. I love storytelling math, and remember, mathematics don't lie, the government does. All American people work and pay into the government. Their major point of contention is whether or not to send $600 or $1,200 or nothing. Here's something interesting. These mutants think that $1,200 helped Americans. Who in the hell are they kidding? I know they are kidding themselves. This $908 bill proposal does not, I repeat, does not include any money for the people who vote these mutants in. Instead, they're focusing on the BS, more money for the people that collect unemployment. Now, that's an incentive to collect for not working. When most of us were that young, the government would never have did the people in this manner. All right, moving along. How about this mutant Mnuchin? He proposed a $916 billion package for a $600 check. Of course, when asked for a comment, the spokesman did not immediately respond to the request from his office. That's because they needed more time to coordinate their lies to the people. Listen, viewers, if consumers say we need more than $1,200 to survive this pandemic, until the pandemic is not over. The vaccine is not available to the commoner person until late September. Or summer, rather. I stand corrected. The only thing with COVID is the numbers are huge and growing. The government is not matching the pandemic with the help needed. How do you like the fact that the government passed a bill to keep Congress open, but they can't help us, the American people, with passing a second stimulus? Listen, viewers, I think they need to shut the White House down. It isn't helping the American people. These mutants that got elected and are just sucking the American people dry without a kiss after. Let's shut down the White House, the main source of incompetence and thievery in America. Well, my viewers, I don't have any more on this subject today. The American people are getting screwed by our elected government. That's the gist of it, plain and simple. So until next time, when we have more topics and comments, just remember, we're working hard to bring you common sense thinking. So once again, if you like this content, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the Big Rooster's Corner. Subscriptions are free and nothing to download. So till next time, stay safe and remember, don't trust the government. Here's a public announcement real quick. Please wear your mask and social distance. The life you save could be a family member or your own. Let's stop the pandemic. No need to travel now and die later. Stay at home, people. Get supplies and get your ass home. One more quick announcement. I have published 2 books on Amazon, Kindle and paperback. First book is Diablo the Destroyer. It is a fantasy superhero book. Second book, Marshal of South Fork, New Mexico Territory, J. Quickdraw, is a Western series of multiple books. I'm working on book 2 of the series. Book 1 is already released. Book 2 should be published by spring of 2021. The purchase of my books helps a veteran that is disabled and can no longer work physically. Thank you for viewing my content today. This is Big Rooster out.